some of these dirt roads are better than, well, a lot of these dirt roads are better than a lot of the blacktop roads, I tell you. Absolutely beautiful. On the side of the edge of a little inland, well, part of a salt lake. A little bit different scenery, something different. Fenced off, so people don't go and drive on it. If you drove down there at the moment, you'd be getting bogged for sure. You're just on the edge there where someone's parked something down there. Wasn't a good idea. Even this road here can get squishy, 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 squashy. Okay, so recently we did a video and it was just a bit of outback dirt roads like this, and talking about sort of a few things to think about, things to look out for, you know, staying out of the dust and on the roads. And I suppose this is going to go to the next step, what to do if you do find yourself losing control. So firstly, when travelling, you need to travel at a speed. That was actually good. This is actually a good one. See, coming around there a little bit, you know, there's debris on the inside of the bend, and you end up, you know, we went out wide, and then, you know, it's a really good example. And these surfaces can be really loose. We're doing about sort of 80 k's at the moment, you know, give or take. A bit of communication going on the radio. They're trying, but it's not working. Too far behind, too far ahead and all that. The convoy is really well spread out because of the dust. So you're coming around the bend, right? Always when you can't see the crest like this, keep left. That's another important thing. Keep left. You don't know what, you can't be just sloppy and out in the middle of the road all the time. It's just going to end in tears, and it does. See this road surface here, this is a good one because all the dirt and rocks is sort of washed off it, so it's quite grippy. It's a really grippy surface, so obviously it would be wise to stay on it where you can. And if it keeps left like it should, which at the moment pretty well that's what's going on, it's really good, and that's probably why it's like that. The debris on the road before, I think that was one of the you know, the white stick marker things or something like that anyway, but it was on the ground, so try and get around when you can. So we went around it a little bit and hooked it a bit sharp. So keep left is important as well. It's really important on roads like this, you know, where it's open and you can see. It doesn't really matter, you can drive it in the middle, you can drive down the wrong side, but don't go over this crest right here on the wrong side. It's going to end in tears one day. Now, the idea is to keep traction. So if you're going around a bend like this, remember we talked about momentum in the other video, the momentum of the vehicle wants to go straight. So as soon as you start turning and it's only your front tyres steering the vehicle, it's what wants to happen is it wants to break traction. So it's a balance of how much momentum you've got in that direction and how much grip you've got type thing. So just have a look at these blue signs, what's going on there, fuel, telephone, there you go, whatever. So look, if you come to a bend and you do find, you know, you had a nice straight road like this and your speed slowly went up and, you know, it sort of maybe got away from you a bit, because it can happen. I see and hear of it happening all the time. Again, coming over a crest here, keep left. You know, there could be another guy, could be about to pop over it. You know, right now we're doing 90 k's, you know, so we want to keep left in case somebody's going the other way. When you do get an oncoming vehicle, if you've got any warning, it's always a good idea to back off the gas, slow it down a bit and move to the left, but not doing, you got to be careful. See, there's a balance. You go too far to the left, it can be soft and loose and therefore cause you to lose control. The back's going to go out to the left, your car's going to point to the right, and next thing you know, you're going to be shooting across in front of whatever it was you were trying to avoid by going left. Could be a car, could be a truck, unless you, obviously the idea is to steer the vehicle in the direction of the movement. So we're not going to do it because it could be dangerous, and we don't want to give you too many bad examples or whatever. But if you were safe, for example, to be going around this bend to the right, if you go around the bend, hang on, just listen to the road. Just go straight ahead. We're following the road straight ahead. Thank you. Yep, that's it. That's it. So basically, yep, we're all good now. Just making sure everyone knows what's going on. Okay, so basically, as I were, sorry, distracted. Is that fair enough to get distracted? We need to communicate, make sure everyone's on the same page. So you're going around the right hand bend, and probably you could get understeer. So understeer is when you're turning and it's not happening, the vehicle's going straight. That could be the situation. But what I've found, let's say in the Prados and a lot of vehicles, you're more likely on these sorts of roads to have oversteer. Oversteer is you turn a little bit and it turns more than what you want because the rear of the vehicle's sliding out, maybe just a little bit, or maybe it's a complete let go. If that's the case, either way, if it's just a little bit, you may be able to maintain your correct same line around the bend, or you may need, so what I suggest you do first is if that's happening, maybe you're going too quick, unless you do it on purpose. You've accidentally gone a bit too fast, so off the gas, avoid using the brakes, because the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to make the situation worse because the rear is already sliding, you haven't got traction, you touch the brakes, it's going to get worse at the rear and slide more at the rear. So if you want it to come around more, if you want to turn the vehicle around 180, then go for the brakes, because that's probably what's going to happen, or it's going to contribute to that happening. So don't go for the brakes, which is your natural instinct to do. You need to slow down and use the gears a little bit. So generally, if I'm traveling like this, I will have my hand ready to shift down to the next gear and know what the next one after that is, you know what I mean? Sort of, 4, 3, 2, whatever, depending on speed you're traveling at. And it may not do that, and it may do it suddenly and also cause a change in control that you weren't expecting, right? So, cause unexpected changes. So again, you should practice these things when you're out on the roads without going too fast. Just change the gears and get a feel for how much is it going to slow you down, and steer with it. Okay, so as I was trying to say, just listen on the radio for a minute. So basically, if the vehicle wants to go straight, you want to go around a right hand bend and it's not working, well, the bad news is, unless the vehicle slows down and regains traction, it's not going to work. But your best chance is slowing down and steering in the direction of slightly. So you're turning around the bend, the best as I can describe this. You're turning, you haven't got the turn you want, or you got too much, the back's coming around. So what you need to do is then steer to the left, to the direction the vehicle's traveling slightly, to hopefully regain traction. And once you regain traction, because you're slowing down and doing that, and it all happens fairly quickly, it's not as slow as what I'm explaining it, happens very quickly. You need to steer with the direction of the vehicle. Once you regain traction and it's slowing down because you're off the gas and you're gearing down, then you can start turning again to the right gently while trying to keep the traction, obviously, right? Now, if you're going way too fast and it's not going to work, depending on the road and where you position yourself on the road to start off with, sometimes a quick jab of the brakes to knock off some speed quickly. And I don't mean, a slow quick, I mean real quick, like while you're in a straight line still, a quick jab of the brakes, which, I'm talking about 10 meters of distance type thing, and then off the brakes again. It's still doing drop the gears down as well, so then you've dropped some speed off. You may want to do that before it's too late. So if you think you're coming up to a bend and you go, oh no, I'm going too fast, before you hit that bend and start your turn, get on the brakes, and I started mentioning that in the last video. Don't jump on the brakes, don't stab at them, because you're just going to lock up or get your electronics doing the work for you, which delays things. You need to get your foot onto the, it needs to happen quickly again, but you need to practice this. You need to get your foot on the brake, set what we call set yourself up. That's, you know, you just want to feel the brake pedal. You want to see where your brakes pads are going to start applying pressure, and gently but kind of swiftly as well, gently but swiftly get into it, and you know, bang. So it's, you know, it sounds like it's something that's going to take forever, but that's what requires practice, guys. It really requires practice. Bang on the brakes, and then a firm application swiftly, and then off again, and then not all of a sudden turning, because that's not going to work either. Then get into your turn, right, and pick the good line where you've got the nice, you know, the tracks where everyone's been driving. You go off too much to the left in that loose stuff, you're gone, because the camber's going to go off that way. It's going to be loose as anything. You're going too fast. There's a whole lot to it. It's hard to explain in 1 or 2 videos, but I'm doing the best I can. At least I hope you're enjoying some scenery. What are we on? We're on the Gawler Ranges Road, headed towards, in the direction of Ceduna anyway. So for anyone that wanted to know that, please give us a thumbs up if you watch the video again, listen to it again, and yeah, hopefully get something out of it. Please subscribe. Here we go. We've got oncoming vehicles. So this is how we're going to deal with oncoming vehicles. We're traveling about 100 at the moment. So about now, I'm going to slow down. I'm off the gas, and I'm moving to the left, and I'm looking carefully where I'm going, because all that's going to happen is, if you don't, and it'd be good if everybody does, all that's going to happen is you're going to end up, people are going to end up with broken windscreens or worse, as a minimum, you know what I mean? And you could end up with that anyway. So the further distance between the two of you helps. If everyone's off the gas, helps. Okay, so we've got another one, same thing. And then you've got the dust as well, right? So luckily we've got a slight side breeze at the moment. We've got a few oncoming vehicles. So that's 2, and we'll let the convoy know how many more. So cruising along. And obviously if you're on the downside of the wind, besides the dust, you're more likely going to get rocks and other debris head this way as well. So, and of course you can't see through it. So personally, you know, headlights are a good thing if you're in dust and that sort of thing, having your lights on. Anyway, that's this video, guys. Like I said, please give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and subscribe to the Valon video. Better videos coming your way. Hopefully a video soon of Goog's track.